We got Kemo's car. We're gonna take out the output shaft where the drive shaft lines up, and we're gonna change this seal. As you can see, this whole back of the transmission is wet. We're gonna take care of that as we were doing the shifter as well, and then we pointed this out to him. So we're gonna get that done and situated. Okay, so we have to drain the transmission. This is the drain plug, the fill plug. I just started this one already. I like to open it up. This way we have airflow going out from the drain plug just so it flows smoothly. This is an 8mm for the fill plug. It's also an 8 for the drain plug. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. Put this fill plug here. So it's really black. Wondering when the last time that this was done. But it's always good to do your fluids when you buy a new car, or you just buy it in general from somebody else. So as that's draining, and this was all leaking, we have to get a new socket tomorrow. Apparently this is a 41. Normally it's a 36, but for some odd reason this transmission is a 41. And we'll be able to get that out and do the seal behind it, and then follow up with the shifter as well. We got a 41mm, as this is supposedly the size for this, because I've been looking everywhere. I went to every store possible to try to get a socket for this. So if you're gonna do this on your E90 M3, I would suggest that you get a 41mm ahead of time. So it just saves you the headache. So it needs to be thinner than this. I got the okay to just kind of see if it works. If not, I will be shaving down this socket just so it fits perfectly in there and we can get this out. Also, I would suggest getting a 1/2 inch drive, unless you buy a 3/4 inch socket, which is this size, and get an adapter that they also sell. So this is a 3/4 inch adapter to a 1/2 inch. So let's just see if this works. So that in fact did not work. So I will be shaving this down. So after lots and lots of trimming it down, we got it to fit nice and snug. So try to get a 41mm that's semi-thin enough to squeeze in there. It's hard to really tell you how thin, but I shaved it down probably I spent a good 25 minutes on this just to get it perfect. So if you're ever gonna tackle this seal on an 2009 E90 M3, I would suggest getting a 41. I don't need the extra extension. And just like that, we got it out. 41mm. Oh yeah, look at the back of this thing. Completely wet. So that seal is You can get a 3-jaw puller, Harbor Freight, anywhere really. You could probably rent one out at the tool stores, but I just have this one. So this is a seal puller. I believe this has a part number on it. No, I guess not. But I'm pretty sure I got this at like an AutoZone or something like that. Just when I needed it in a pinch. You could probably order this on Amazon too. Just a normal seal puller. You insert it, just gotta be careful with the splines. And you kind of just wiggle at it until you're able to get a good bite on the seal. There you go. Just like that. Also, I would have a drain pan. This way you can avoid any spills, because you have to drain it also. So I would be mindful of that. So if you take a look, exactly how this is seeping out after you take out the seal is exactly how it was leaking from what I had showed you before. So for the most part, we're gonna clean this all up and it's gonna look brand new. Semi-finished product. I cleaned it. I'm not, like doing above and beyond. It's gonna get dirty down here regardless, but it's good to start basically clean. I'm gonna wipe it down for whatever's stuck around. After that, realistically, we're gonna clean up the inside a little bit and put the seal in, and then we'll put it back together. I'm gonna scrub it down and we should be able to put the rest of it together. We're gonna put this shifter completely in, drill the hole. It's a bit of a tricky area to try to get this in. I realistically use an extension. I use the side that goes into a 3/8 ratchet, and I tap the opposite side to get it in somewhat flush. It has a little bit of a lip. You could like get your nail on it. That's how it was with the seal that we pulled out. So as long as you do that the same way, you should be good. And now we just put the flange back on, tighten the nut, and we're good. Back together she goes. So here's the nut. I put a little bit of red Loctite on there. On the book, it does recommend putting Loctite. The flange, I just tapped it in with the hammer, just on these outside parts. Just lightly tap it in as soon as it gets started and then get it in. And then you can spin the nut on. So I got the gun in the socket again. Just to clarify, it's 41. This is the 3/4 inch size, but I have a reducer on there. So it goes from 3/4 to 1/2 inch. But I would recommend getting a 1/2 inch one just to make your life easier. It is torqued to 100 Newton meters if I am correct. I'm gonna do that off camera because it's gonna be a little hard to get that. I don't have the counter hold tool, so we're just gonna do that off camera. Okay, let's just say we're starting from the beginning, since Kemo took apart some of it. So realistically, what's in here, we have the shift boot first. that just pops out. Then we have the foam. I think this is on top. I don't remember. No, it goes underneath. Okay, so this foam has to come out from the center. And then this is the last piece that's all the way underneath. You could take this out first to give you some space. There's some connections underneath. And then you have the shifter here. I don't have the original with me at the moment, but you have to like push it down. I'll share a clip after this, and you have to get like 2 screwdrivers, or you could do it with 1, and you rotate it clockwise until it clicks. Then you're able to pull it up if you had it disconnected from underneath. Simple as that. So jumping into this realistically, we just have to line up, mark some holes, drill, and we should be good. I just have to line up everything and make sure that we're able to have this straight up. Supposedly with this shifter, it is leaned back a little bit, probably like this much, but I don't want that. I want it to be like this. So if I can move it more forward, I'm gonna do that, just to keep it, you know, looking how it's supposed to. I believe Kemo is okay with cutting this trim. I actually think that we have to anyways, so just gonna try to make it look as best as possible and try to retain, you know, like an OEM look. So I lined it up as best as possible. I already marked it because it was a little hard to do and record. So I believe that's probably as straight as I can get it. Well, not as I can get it. I can go a little further up, but I do think that that's probably good. Like, I don't want to go too far up and it be off, but that looks good right there. I don't have anything to really hold it in place, but everything is marked. I marked all 4 holes. And we're gonna try to see how well we can get this. It just bolts with nut and bolts. That's what it came with. Just kind of like sandwich. We got our holes drilled out. We have one here, and then the other 2 up here. I took out this grommet just to gain better access to make this hole up here. But everything went smooth. So we're just gonna mount up the shifter now and see how that goes. I am probably gonna need somebody's help to line this up. I'm probably gonna need somebody's help to line up the nuts on the bottom. But other than that, it should be straightforward. All right. Okay, so we got all 4 bolts and nuts tight. Shifter's good. Kemo, give it a try. So just like that, it works. Just need somebody else to hold the bolt heads, and you can tighten it on the bottom.